Hey everyone, this is Jeff from the Icebox Radio Theater. Just coming on to let you know that October is a pretty big month around here, as it is for audio drama producers all over the world. It is the International Audio Drama Month after all. But for us, it's extra big because it's Member Renewal Month. So if you are a member of the Icebox Radio Theater, please send in those dues. Let us know that you want to continue to be a part of this effort to create new audio theater. We'll be happy to hear from you, of course. And if you are a patron or a member, thank you so much for your support. And we invite you to consider if there's maybe a little bit extra in the pocketbook you could send our way this month so that we can continue to produce these plays. We only do 2 fundraisers a year, and only one is focused on you, the listener. So just invite you to think about that this October month while you enjoy all the great audio drama that's being produced and coming in from all over the world. Learn more at iceboxradio.org/support today. And thanks for your time.
Do you need any help with those? You don't need to carry everything, you know.
No, I should be all right. Oh!
Brad!
Oh, my back.
Oh no. Where's the nearest hospital?
Injuries happen on vacation, so remember to pack your medications, insurance information, and take a moment to locate the nearest clinic or hospital, just in case. This project to support rural healthcare workers was made possible by a grant from the Center for Urban and Regional Affairs and was produced by the Icebox Radio Theater.
That's right. We're broadcasting in the public interest now. Thank you so much for David and everyone else involved in that project. And this project is called The CRISPR, which is a news and information podcast from the Icebox Radio Theater, going out to you, the listener, or in the case of Facebook, you, the viewer, from International Falls, Minnesota. I'm going to make a note of that. Hi, everybody. I am Jeff. I'm your host, and this is CRISPR number 688 for October 12th, 2025. Governments on this planet have not lasted as long as the CRISPR. I'm not sure what that says, but there it is. This is news, information, whatnot, what have you, all about the Icebox Radio Theater from the Icebox, the Nation, International Falls, Minnesota. Thank you so much for tuning in on this wonderful day, which is, of course, October the 12th. It's the spooky season. And you know what? Finally, we're beginning to get some weather that's a little bit spooky. Tell me, I'm wearing my heavy fleece today because it's just wonderfully chilly here. In fact, that's usually the first thing we do is we take a look at Skycam 1. Let's do that right now. That's a view outside of our studio here at 908. You can't really tell because something about the video camera and the screen that's still on the window, they just don't agree with each other. But if you look at that tree on the left-hand side, sorry for radio listeners, but there's a tree on the left-hand side that's blowing around pretty good. And that's been the day. With a little bit of rain earlier, as you can see by the graphic, 61 degrees currently. Autumnal. That's what I'll say. It's been very autumnal here in the Icebox of the Nation. Now, old-timers, of course, talk about the days when we'd have snow on the ground by this time. Not that. We're not getting that. Probably just the planet's warmer. That's just the way it is. Although I do expect snow, and at this point, we'll probably see winter dropping like an iron curtain, just kind of falling on us in a 24-hour period. Not right now, though. Right now, we're looking at rain, which is not what winter means here. But whatever the case, that's what it looks like outside here in International Falls. How about we take a look now at the metrics for the week? Pretty much an upturn right across the board, except of course Twitter, as you can see there, 673 Twitter followers, exactly the same as last week. We picked up a couple of Facebook followers. We're at 926, up from 924 last week. And Instagram followers as well went from 306 last week to 308. Still 63 fantastic patrons, 40 wonderful members. Thank you so much. Quick reminder, if you are a member, please renew this month. Even if you're a free member, want to know if you want to continue. On to the streaming radio station. It's been a little quiet over there, so it's nice to see some positive numbers. Our unique listeners jumped from 561 to 603 this week, and these listeners represented 66 countries. That is down from 70 the week before. However, listener events of 30 seconds or less, 88.5, which is, I guess, up. Well, yeah, it's up. It's a single percentage points. It was 84.7 last week. And the top three listening countries, of our streaming station, USA, Germany, and Russia. The standard three on the podium each and every week. Subscribers to all podcasts, which pretty much is the IBRT Plays podcast, and this one, 30,176, and that's up from 29,934 last week. Those are the metrics for the week. If you'd like a transcription, email me at iceboxradio.51. Boy, what's going on? Well, plenty is going on here in the Icebox of the Nation at the IBRT. It is a podcast week. It's not only a podcast week, it's a fairly big podcast week because we are dropping on this week, on Thursday, on the IBRT Plays podcast, our big Halloween ghost story, super scary studio piece that we've been working on for about 6 months. As you can tell, most of the time when we drop a new episode on the podcast, it's a recording of a live show. Not this. This was one that Trelawney Irwin and I and Karen was in it and Ayla was in it. A lot of wonderful people were in it, and it is going to be called The Haunted. Now, if you're a regular listener to the CRISPR, you know that I've been talking for a while about the Two Souls, as the title of our big October Ghost Story podcast. That never really set real well with me. I thought Two Souls, I don't know, just didn't seem scary, just didn't seem ghost story. And I went looking for The Haunted, which seems like the kind of thing that you'd have a bunch of stories with that title. And there was just 2 movies popped up. One made for TV from like the 90s, I think. And then another just a couple years ago, 2022, I believe. Neither one, got into the zeitgeist particularly. So I said, okay, well, The Haunted really matches the story better. And I do have a treat for our video listeners, or for our video viewers on Facebook. Check this out. We have put together, I think, a pretty good logo for this episode. Just so if you're listening on the streaming station, I'll describe it briefly. Of course, says it says the title, The Haunted, an original ghost story for Halloween, starring Trelawney Irwin and Jeffrey Adams. Did I mention Trelawney's in this? Yes, indeed she is. The cool thing about this logo is we're actually using, for the first time in quite a while, some of the original art drawn for us by Denny Hager from Illinois. Denny did the original Frozen Frights logo. He did the art for that. He did the art. You want to check this out on Tuesday or Thursday when you download the podcast, because I think the logo came out really, really well. And otherwise just go to, I guess, this video on our Facebook page, and you can see the logo that I'm talking about. Whatever the case, I like this show a whole bunch. I've been listening to it, trying to make last-minute tweaks. I think it comes out well. I mean, I think it checks a lot of boxes for the IBRT in that it's seasonal, it's Halloweeny, it's ghost story. Also, there's a little bit of Northline history thrown in. There's, of course, a wonderful cast, as I mentioned, and we did some remote recording with this, of course, of Trelawney Irwin and John, her fiancé, both recorded from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and everyone else was here in studio. So, whole lot of fun. And just to be clear on the drop times and drop dates, The Haunted will drop on the IBRT Plays podcast. Remember, we're not doing the genre podcast anymore, so if you're a big Frozen Frights fan, this will not be updated there. Although I'm considering it's still unclear. You've seen those numbers, right? They were like 60,000 subscribers, and now it's down to 30, but it's leveled off at 30, so I think we'll stick with IBRT Plays. And that's happening on Thursday for everyone. But on Tuesday, if you are a member or a patron, it of course drops on the members and patrons page on the website, as well as the Patreon page. You get things slightly better quality, no commercials, and we're loading up on the commercials. You notice, because we got a commercial now for fundraising, as well as the wonderful PSAs that we earned from our good friend Dr. David Beard. And the the Rural Community Health Initiative, I think. I don't remember the name of it now. I just do what I'm told. But yeah, definitely, if you're from the city and you go on vacation in a smaller community, bring your medical records. Okay, they don't have them just because they're doctors. End of story. Okay. The big thing about The Haunted, of course, was the change of title. And I just think it fits it better. Two Souls sounds a bit like a romance novel. And so, yeah, this is better. I think people are going to enjoy it. Please, by all means, let me know if you do enjoy it, or you think it's derivative, or it's just not up to the standard that you're used to. Whatever the case, I kind of made that sound negative. If you love it and you want us to do more, absolutely give us drop a line and say, I love that and I want you to do more. I think it came out pretty good. I think there's some fun sound effects in there. I got to use the Incan death whistle. I think we've talked about this in the past. Look it up, Inca death whistle. It's really quite remarkable. And that happens on Tuesday and Thursday this week. Other than that, what's the big news, of course, is that we continue to work on the big live show coming up at Bacchus Community Center on October the 30th. That's right, the night before Halloween. Still not brave enough to do a show on Halloween because, I don't know, I just assume people are, going to parties or trick-or-treating or whatever. They don't necessarily want to come. One day I will be brave enough to try an actual horror story on Halloween night itself. But we are, as you know, doing Dracula, and I think I have a cast locked up. I'm in danger of surprising someone because I contacted everyone just to find out who's available. But I think we're going to have Dalton Johnson, Ayla McIntosh, Justin Kapla, and Diane Adams, plus me, at work on this particular show. Trying to keep the cast down. Should be a lot of fun because we have a variety of voices that need to happen, and I'm very much looking forward to that. It's swimmingly coming right along. I had to do a little more work on the script than I was expecting to, just to fit into our format, and also kind of do the editing from the original Mercury Theater script, which included all the CBS promos, and Orson comes on at the end and tells everyone, I am Dracula. And remember, this play was originally broadcast, I think it was a July or August night ahead of the War of the Worlds. This happened in July. In October, of course, of that year, War of the Worlds happened, and everything changed for Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater and pretty much American science fiction. I really love this version of Dracula. The more I go over the script, the more I think, boy, I'm glad we're doing this because it's going to be challenging, but it's really, really, really good. And I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Sound effects are on their way. We'll have to see how done they are. I've been through once, collected all the sounds, edited them down, and now I need to put them into a playback program and then, do a couple dry runs through the script and see if, okay, does this work? And whatever the case, I'm well ahead of the game on Dracula, which is good because the rest of the show needs a lot of work, an awful lot of work. Dracula was a 1-hour broadcast. The Mercury Theater was a 1-hour show. Which means it times out normally to about 50 minutes because there was, a break with commercials as well. So I wanted a second longish or 10 or 15 minute piece to go with it. It's always nice to have something original. And I have an outline at long last. I've been working on this for several weeks, actually, just aware I need another script. I need another story. What's available? I didn't want to go back into the bin and take out one of the great old IBRT Halloween programs from the past or Halloween stories from the past. I wanted something original. And also, I realized that Dracula, pretty guy intensive. There's Mina. If you know the story of Dracula, there's Lucy Westenra, and there's Mina Harker. And those are the two girls, plus the brides. The brides don't appear in this script. I do invite you to check out Atlanta Radio Theater's The Brides of Dracula, which really does a wonderful job of incorporating the brides into the story. But we don't have the three brides, the three creepy ladies, in our version of the story. So I decided I wanted to write something for the two women in the cast, Ayla and Diane. And I think I got a good outline. Let's put it that way. Still got to sit down and write the actual script. I expect to get that done this week because this is not a super long story, 10 or 15 minutes, 10 or 15 pages, something like that. And the title I like. The title is going to be called the Post Toasties. No, I'm sorry, the Ghost Toasties Club. Remember Post Toasties? My grandparents used to used to eat Post Toasties, and I don't know, it just seemed like a fun name for a short piece. But of course, I'm changing titles all the time, so don't get married to the Ghost Toasties Club. But whatever the case, it's the story of two women, kind of getting on from adulthood to middle age, or maybe from middle age to the next stage. The kids are grown; they're teenagers; they don't really need them anymore. But when they were when they were kids growing up together in this small town, they loved horror movies and they loved going to do scary things. And this was their adventure as a couple of matronly ladies walking through the woods to the house, the cabin, the abandoned cabin that's reportedly where the local boogeyman used to live. And they're going to knock on his door and run away. And one of them is all for it. It's her idea. It's her, return to her youth. And the other one is not feeling that way. And that's all I'll tell you about the Ghost Toasties Club, because I think it's going to be pretty good. In addition to that, of course, there will be some commercials, which, no, I don't have any ideas what we're going to do for the commercials for this particular show, but I promise I will by the time we get there. And that's pretty much going to happen on October 30th. Looking forward to that, which sort of brings us to an element an item that I already talked about in a pre-recorded spot at the top of this version of the CRISPR, which is we are going ahead, of course, with our fundraiser, the big October fundraiser. Sent out hard copy letters to folks that have sent us a check or two in the past, and then I'm sending out emails right now. I want to say thank you to everyone who donated something last week when we sent out the first of those emails. We will be sending out emails every week, and I'm editing the list down. So if you already give something, you're not getting another email. And I know Ben, and I just heard from Craig in St. Paul. He's no longer Craig in St. Paul. He lives in Illinois now. He just told me about his donation for the year. Love it, guys. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to keep the microphones on, so to speak. And again, the big in addition to helping us keep going here at the IBRT, the big plus of donating in October is I will give you access to the video feed for the show on October 30th of Dracula and other stories from the John Faith Little Theater in International Falls. The show will be available. I'm just going to go ahead and announce it. The show will be available on the streaming radio station. We haven't been back on the streaming station in a little while, and I thought it was about time. I love using the streaming radio station. I know that's not as popular as video, but hey, I just enjoy doing it. And so we're going to be back on the streaming radio station for everybody. And in addition to that, if you give something this month, a donation, or you re-up your membership, or you alter your Patreon to send us more money every month, we'll be happy to send the link to the video version of Dracula and other stories on October 30th to you. If you have any questions or comments, I invite you to send those to, once I find the keys I'm after, there we go. If you have any questions or comments, I do invite you to send those to me at iceboxradio51@gmail.com. The socials, we're still at Icebox Radio on the Facebook and the Twitter, and at Radio Icebox on the Instagram. Remember, Tuesday, members and patrons get The Haunted, and then everyone else on the IBRT Plays podcast on Thursday. Hope you enjoy very much. Let me know how you like it. So until next time, this is Jeff saying thanks for the download, and reminding you to keep listening. Let me switch a couple things around and just say good afternoon, everybody. Have a great week.